original program. Tanya Harding is second. Nancy Kerrigan is third. Holly Cook, who finished third last year in Salt Lake City, is fourth, and Tisha Walker is fifth. The top three will advance to the World Championships. The skating order today, and this was determined by a draw, so Krista Yamaguchi will go first. She'll be followed by Holly Cook, Nancy Kerrigan, Tanya Harding, and Tisha Walker. Before we get to that, we're going to go back to last night when the pairs competition was held. Again, the top three pairs advanced to the World Championships to be held in Munich, Germany next month. And we're going to take a look at a couple of the key performances. I was here last night along with Dick Button, Peggy Fleming, and Beth Ruyak. The pair we're looking at, Kala Urbanski, 30 years old, from Chicago. Rocky Marvell from New Egypt, New Jersey. They were fourth after the original program. Need to finish in the top three to make the World Championships and really have a golden opportunity, because performances here in the free skating programs have not been that scintillating. So the door is open for them.
Well, and a very nice opening, that throw triple twist. Very nicely executed. Oh, and another very difficult move, the throw triple loop. It's a very significant move for them tonight because they've got to skate very well. It's a good start.
The clue to their skating is their speed.
And watch how they skate really in their knees. They really use their knees and really get into the ice.
National championship skating together, along with the three of the top pairs. They are skating together for the first time in the national championship. What a growing period this is for American pair skating.
And it's the perfect way to put it, marvelous, with Rocky Marvell and Kala Urbanski. Both experienced, but with different partners last year. Kala and her former partner, Mark Naylor, finished fourth in the Nationals. And Rocky and his former partner, Maria Lako, finished seventh last year.
Executing all the difficult elements and side-by-side jumps very well, but their unison seems to lack a little bit, but I think that's due to just not skating together that often.
This is very, very difficult. With one hand only on her stomach.
And they certainly have the crowd with them. You can feel the excitement building in this arena. You see their timing on their jumps is not quite together.
And yet this is a performance that appears to be good enough to vault them from fourth into the top three, and thus a trip to Munich could very well be in their immediate future. Yamaguchi and Rocky Marval. And Rocky Marval for technical merit ranged from 5.6 up to 5.8, so good marks there. And now for composition and style, they are all 5.7s and 5.8s, so a very good performance, and they have done everything but book reservations for the World Championships in Germany. Let's go to bed.
Colin, Rocky, you've been skating together such a short time, and yet obviously you had a plan to deal with the pressure and the positioning of tonight.
It was do or die. I made a mistake in the short and wanted to get back where I should be, so I felt great.
We trained really hard for this, and we planned to skate well, and we did, so we're happy with it.
And you're now in first place with one pair to go. Congratulations.
The Los Angeles Figure Skating Club, Natasha Kuchiki. And from Costa Mesa, California, representing the Los Angeles Figure Skating Club, Todd Sand.
Now here's the pair to beat. Natasha Kuchiki is only 14 years old, but a veteran of international competition already. She's from Canoga Park, California. Her partner, Todd Sand, almost twice her age. He's 27, from Costa Mesa, California. They were first after the original program, went to the World Championships last year, and they would need just a terrible performance not to earn a repeat visit.
I don't think that we're going to be seeing that, but there's nothing delicate about this pair. They're very strong single skaters and very strong at all the lifts, and they project a lot more confidence than some of the other pairs because of that experience.
But they cannot do that kind of a thing.
No.
They cannot miss those side-by-side double axels if they're going to win this championship. And remember, winning this championship is why they're here. A trip to the World Championship is not the end result of this event. And that move is going to be double up their disadvantage that they're opening this with.
And the pressure certainly has been put on them by Kala Urbanski and Rocky Marval.
Practicing very well, very consistent, and it's really surprising to see them missing things this evening.
Left in the routine of Natasha Kuchiki and Todd Sand trying to win the national championship here in Minneapolis.
Coming up next is the throw triple Salchow. Oh, that's what we're used to seeing. Very well done. Very well done.
Certainly been skating with steady security towards the end of the program, being very, very careful.
Clearly the second part of the program a lot better than the first. Is it good enough to win the title? We'll know in a moment. Natasha Kuchiki and Todd Sand. Live in Minneapolis, and before we show you the results of the pairs competition, let me point out that Kristi Yamaguchi and Rudy Galindo had won the national championship in 1989 and 1990, but they are no longer a pair. Each is concentrating on singles competition, and so there was nobody here to defend a title. But the title was won as we take a look at the final results with a good enough performance by Natasha Kuchiki and Todd Sand. So they're on their way to Germany. Kuchiki, just 14 years old, and finishing second was 30-year-old Kala Urbanski, along with her partner Rocky Marval, and finishing third, Jenny Nino and Scott Wendland. Some of the other finishers included Sharon Kars and Doug Williams. They were third and went to the Worlds in Halifax last year, but they'll stay home in 1991. Cortland and Dungeon were fifth on the list, and so on down the line. Well, one man who should have been here is a very key figure at the United States Figure Skating Association, but today he's halfway around the world. Minnesota. This is the Target Center. New building and a beautiful structure for the U.S. Figure Skating Championships presented by Diet Sprite and NutraSweet. We mentioned that Jill Trenary is not competing here, recuperating from surgery, but she is here physically, and she's with Beth Ruyak. Beth?
Thanks, Al. She is here. A little bit hesitant about being here, but wanting to be here anyway. In terms of recovery, Jill, there's always uncertainty. How often do you wonder whether your ankle will fully heal?
There's no doubt in my mind or my doctor's mind that it will fully heal. Unfortunately, it's just bad timing, but there's no doubt that it will be ready for next year's season.
I'm curious, did you make your announcement about not going to the Worlds in time so that the three here today would know that they are the World qualifiers?
They know it's going to be those three, and I was glad that they could know, because it's not fair if I would have announced, let's say, today or tomorrow. But I did know. I found out Sunday, and I let them know as soon as I could.
Your goal now is the 92 Olympics. You will go as a world champion. There will be a lot of hype and a lot of mystery because you're not competing. Do you have a strategy so that the expectations don't get bigger than you're able to live up to?
I feel really good about my chances. I think that I can have a lot of time to get ready this year and plan it completely, and I'm more excited than ever because I miss it so much. I wish them all well, but I can't wait to be back.
Same goes for us. Thank you very much, Jill Trenary. And Al, she'll be doing something she said is difficult today, and that is watching someone else up there on the podium, but she'll be back, she says.
Thank you, Beth. And most likely she'll be watching Kristi Yamaguchi, who with any sort of a performance today will be the 1991 champion. Coming up, the ladies' original program having been completed. We'll see the free skating coming up, and let's take a look at the standings as we get set for the competition with Kristi Yamaguchi on top. Tonya Harding is second at the moment. Nancy Kerrigan would earn a trip to the Worlds as the top three will be going. Holly Cook needs to pick up a spot, however, to get to the World Championships, and Tisha Walker is fifth. When they take the ice in a few minutes, we'll see Yamaguchi first, then Holly Cook, then Kerrigan, then Harding, and finally Tisha Walker. Now, over the past 12 months, everything has worked out just perfectly for Kristi Yamaguchi. She is no longer pair skating after winning 2 national titles. She has more time to concentrate on singles and more time to rest. She does not have to worry about compulsories. There's a rule change, and there'll be no more school figures in these national championships. She will not be facing Jill Trenary, as you know, because of her injury. And she learned the other day Midori Ito, who finished second in the World Championships last year, has also undergone surgery and may not be in Munich. And topped off by the fact that she is skating probably as good as she ever has. So she is going to be very, very difficult to beat. Let me bring in America's guru of figure skating, Dick Button. And let's talk about this rules change that I mentioned, that we will no longer have compulsory competition. What is the real effect of that here?
Well, it's a two-edged sword. On the one hand, a skater that was very good in the compulsory figures no longer has the chance to build a commanding lead, and a good free skater who may have been weak in the figures no longer runs the risk of losing the competition before it really gets started. Remember Midori Ito at the 1990 World Championships. And there's one other side effect, and that is that if any skater now bombs out in one of the two events that they have less chance to make up that loss. What it comes down to is that there's fewer rolls of the dice for the very high stakes here at this championship.
It also helps Yamaguchi because that was not exactly her forte. She was fifth last year after the compulsories. Let me turn to Peggy Fleming, who won this title 5 consecutive years in the 60s. And we've set the stage for Yamaguchi to win it. She's going to be tough to beat. Can she be beaten? And if so, who can beat her?
Well, Tanya Harding has the advantage of the position of skating after Christie, Holly Cook, and Nancy Kerrigan. At that time, I think she can make a judgment whether or not she should pull out maybe all the stops and maybe even attempt her triple axel. However, she has been working on her style a lot this past year. We also can't count out Holly Cook, who is third in the world at this present time. And also Nancy Kerrigan, who I think...
Yamaguchi, 19 years old, from Fremont, California. She trains with her coach in Edmonton, Alberta.
Yamaguchi.
She was second in the Nationals in both 89 and 90, and now she tries to win the title. The leader following the original program, which counts for 1/3 of the total score. This free skating program counts for 2/3.
And her style is light and effervescent like a bird. Remember one thing, the ladies' competition is still a triple jump competition. Her first triple jump coming up at triple Lutz combination double toe loop. Here it is. Very neat, very clean, not wildly spectacular, but just perfectly done.
Well, she's extremely well trained, and she's in great condition for this competition. She's been looking really good on all the practices all week long.
It's her next triple combination. First a triple flip and a triple toe loop, but there were turns in between that. That means it does not count as a combination.
The scoring in this sport can be quite complicated, but just to simplify it, if any of the top three, Yamaguchi, Harding, or Kerrigan, win this free skating portion, they would win the overall title. So she has the lead, does Christie, and she can afford to be somewhat conservative, but she doesn't want to leave the door open.
Certainly was not helpful.
And this is a back spiral into another triple loop. Very nicely done, very smooth and very much to the music. At this point in the program, you can really tell if an athlete is in good condition. I mean, she has a lot of strength to be doing the triple jumps at this point in the 4-minute program is really, really good.
And her final triple jump right here, a triple toe. And other than that one mistake, no problems in this camp.
She fell on that triple chow cow. That might have opened the door just a crack, but I have a feeling she's put the heat on the rest of the field. Scores when we come back.
Didn't work either.
They are quite good. They are all 5.7s and 5.8s for Yamaguchi, the leader after the original program. Again, now this portion of the competition counts 2/3. The original program the other night, 1/3. Up next, the marks for composition and style, as she awaits them with her coach, Christy Karsgaard-Ness.
Remember, there's plenty of room there for the other skaters to come in higher.
Well, not a lot after we take a look at these. All 5.8s and 5.9s.
1/10 does it. 1/10 does it.
Some room. All right, let's go to Beth Ruyak with Christy.
Christy, did it help or hurt your motivation in any way to have to skate the #1 program before any of your competition?
Oh, I don't really think that really mattered. You know, I skated first before in a group, and you just have to go out there and do what you can, and you know, I was really happy with it.
Certainly did. Thank you, Christy. Back to you, Al.
Okay, Beth, and next up will be Holly Cook. Holly Cook right now is not necessarily thinking about winning the title, but just making the World Championship team. She did it last year in a surprise. She's from Utah and thrilled the crowd in Salt Lake last year, but right now she is in 4th place, so she has to move up a spot. She went to the Worlds last year and wound up winning the bronze medal at Halifax. Holly Cook.
And whereas Christy was like a bird, Holly Cook is a powerhouse, a likable powerhouse.
And she really covers the ice very well. And this opening jump is a real example of the power of her skating. Watch the height that she gets in this double axel.
And the way she steps right into it.
Very nice.
Here her first triple, a triple toe. Nice. And the more difficult triple, a toe, a triple loop jump. Wow.
She was questioning whether she should do that or not in competition because it's not one of her real consistent triples.
Oh, another one. Well, that clearly writes off, I think, the chances for Holly Cook to make the world team this year. One mistake can be sometimes overlooked. 2 major ones are difficult.
And we talked about the compulsories not being in effect anymore, Dick. Here is clearly a case of a skater hurt by that because she excels in compulsories, as she proved last year.
speed she has going into this. But even that one she couldn't hold.
20-year-old Holly Cook of Bountiful, Utah.
And that jump should have been a triple toe jump. It wasn't. For some reason, Holly Cook just never got it going in this program, and after such an exciting year of 1990.
2 falls early on the triple loop and the triple Salchow, and a rough performance for Holly Cook. We'll be back. Next skater is Nancy Kerrigan. She follows Holly Cook, whose marks for technical merit ranged from 4.9 through 5.5, and for composition and style ranged from 5.1 through 5.5. So not a good performance for Holly Cook. And there is Brenda Kerrigan. We saw the feature on Brenda, who is legally blind, has to get right up against that monitor to watch her daughter, now performing live here at the Target Center in Minneapolis. Nancy trying to make the World Championships in 3rd place after the original program.
She has a very ladylike quality to her skating, very elegant, but yet she can execute the difficult triple jumps.
I don't understand what's happening to the ladies this afternoon.
I think they're feeling the pressure, definitely.
To step into that double axel right at the beginning on that kind of a lean was very unfortunate. Here's a triple, double, sorry, and she fell out of that, or seemed to. I wonder if there's something wrong with her skate, the way she stopped and looked at it at that point.
Now this is another combination of a double toe loop, triple toe loop.
And a double, and that time a triple.
Very
She
nice.
landed. But you know, she's missing all of these triples too. And we must remember that whether we like it or not, this is a triple jump competition. Much less emphasis is paid upon the artistry, the choreography, the musical interpretation. It shouldn't be, but that's the way it is. That was nice.
You're watching Nancy Kerrigan, 21 years old, of Stoneham, Massachusetts, at the National Championships in Minneapolis, trying to win a spot on the World Championship team.
Good height. Good height.
Good girl.
Very
Triple
clean.
butt. She has some lovely moments in this routine. Watch her arms, and her extensions are very nicely done.
That made up for the first double axel that she fell on.
That kind of a move is so effective when you hold it. Skating happens so quickly. It's so nice to hold a beautiful move. Has an impact.
The whole second half of this program was really first-rate and should hold her in awfully good stead.
Mom and Dad looking on, and we'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Nancy Kerrigan has just finished her performance here in Minneapolis as she awaits her scores.
Look, nice height on that, wasn't there? Very straight legs, very clean.
And Brenda and Daniel Kerrigan looked on, and that met with their approval as the marks are now being posted here. For technical merit for Kerrigan, the marks are all 5.6s and 5.7s outside of 1.5.5. And again, Nancy trying to remain in third place or enhance that position and win a trip to the World Championships as she now awaits her marks for composition and style. Nancy was 5th in the Nationals 2 years ago, 4th last year, and trying to get into the top 3. And these marks range from 5.6 up to 5.8.
5.8, 5.7.
Let's go to Beth Ruyak. Beth?
Nancy, you looked at your skate early on in the program when you were struggling. Was something wrong with it?
Now that I look at it, no, it's just looser than it normally is, so my ankle felt shaky.
You grabbed hold of it there. We looked down, you looked at your skate. It was just a little bit loose, but somehow you fought back in this program. What was going on in those moments?
I just thought, you've trained for this, you have to do this, you're ready. I can, you know, and it just made me fight hard for it, so worked out well after that.
Thank you, Nancy. Back to you, Al.
All right, Beth, for the moment now, Nancy has moved into second place behind Yamaguchi. And here comes Tanya Harding. And she now with a chance to win a trip to Germany. And there's such a tremendous difference. If you finish third, you skate in Munich. If you finish fourth, you stay at home and watch on television. She was second after the original program, 20 years old, from Portland, Oregon. Wound up 7th in the Nationals last year.
And she's a very powerful skater. She's tiny. She reminds you somewhat of Liz Manley of Canada, a little bit of Janet Lynn of the United States. Great power, great speed, and great athletic ability. And the question is whether 3 moves into the program, she will do a triple axel. First, a triple Lutz. And now the question is whether she will become the first American to attempt and complete a triple axel jump. We will know that here, whether she tries it or not. Good girl! Oh, isn't that great? The first time an American, only Midori Ito has completed a triple axel in competition. Oh, how nice! How terrific! Oh, yo!
Well, she's written a little history, and she still has 3 minutes left in this routine. Tanya Harding.
She looks thrilled. This is where she's really improved in her skating, is holding out her moves and really feeling the music. I really see a big growth in her skating in that territory.
Taking her time.
And again now, if she wins this phase of the competition, she would win it all. She would beat Yamaguchi.
She has the biggest smile on her face.
Triple loop jump. Wonderful height. Wonderful stretched legs.
This number was choreographed by Barbara Flowers, the same lady that choreographed for Rosalind Sumner's.
Triple flip.
She is definitely on today.
Well, I would imagine what she did early on, Peggy, would have taken her confidence level to a point she's never reached before.
I'm sure that helps a lot. Perfect program. Watch the speed she continues to have during this spin combination.
Now only one remaining difficult move, the double axel. And a final move, a dead drop into a back sit bend. And what a moment for this young lady. Oh, so nice. Just terrific, just terrific.
Tanya Harding is going to Germany. The only question is, will she be wearing silver or gold?
Well, it doesn't really matter. She's created her own goal with this performance, and it doesn't matter whether how it falls out with the markings and the ordinals.
This was a performance for history, for sure.
Go back and take a look at something never performed before by an American skater.
And look at the edge that she's going into it. She steps now. Watch both arms stretching up together. Full force into that. That was beautiful. Little wide swinging leg, but who cares? Here it is. Now watch the arms and the legs all come together at the peak and turn. And she knew she held it before she was even finished. How nice, how nice.
Well, last year she was in good shape going into this phase of the competition, but she ran a fever, 103 degrees, and finished 7th. Here come the marks now. Technical merit, and they are all 5.9 plus 1.6. And those technical marks are better than Yamaguchi's. 5.9. Look there at Christie, and if her marks here overall are better than Yamaguchi's, she will win the whole thing. Now Yamaguchi had all 5.8s and 5.9s in composition and style. There is 1.57, several 5.9s, and 1.58, mainly 5.9s in composition and style for Harding. So the computer is tabulating it right now, and let's go to bed.
Tanya, you told me earlier in the week you were not going to tell anybody whether you were going to go for the triple axel or not. When did you make the decision and why?
I made it yesterday, and I knew that I had nothing to lose. I could go out and do everything, and I'm so happy with myself. And I just want to thank God and my club, Carousel Figure Skating Club, for all their support, and especially my husband.
I don't think I need to tell you, but you are in first place right now.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Back to you, Al.
And that means she is just one performance away from being the national champion, with only Tisha Walker yet to skate. We'll be back. Back in Minneapolis, you're looking live at Tisha Walker in the middle of her performance as we join her in progress about halfway through her free skating. She's only 16 years old, from Thousand Oaks, California, an up-and-coming skater, 5th after the original program, so she would need a spectacular performance to wind up in the top three. Right now, Harding leads, Yamaguchi second, and Kerrigan is third. And Tisha Walker having a difficult time of it.
Actually, except for that one mistake, she's done very well to this point. Showing a great deal of maturity for 16 years of age.
And clearly somebody to keep an eye on in the immediate future.
Some very interesting spins in her number with her arms. That flying camel with her arms in the back was a nice variation.
She's a refreshing skater, charming on the ice. I think not very much full of energy at this point in the competition.
Very strong ending with a triple toe loop.
One to watch in years to come, Tisha Walker on a day that has belonged to Tanya Harding in Minneapolis. We'll be back. To be unpredictable, and it certainly was, because Kristi Yamaguchi was about ready to be crowned the new national champion, and up stepped Tanya Harding, who's been around for a while. She doesn't come from a wealthy family. At times during her career, it appeared the financial burden would be too much, but she was able to continue skating. Today she performs the first ever triple axel done by an American woman, and it was good enough, the entire performance, for her to win it. So Harding, Yamaguchi, and Nancy Kerrigan all advance to the World Championships in Munich. And the top eight as we continued on, Tanya Kwiatkowski winds up fourth. We just saw Tisha Walker. Holly Cook had a lackluster and off performance today and thus dropped down to sixth. Ina was seventh and Bobek was eighth. And let's go to Beth Ruyak.
Al, Tanya's just telling me she has a little bit of an asthma problem right after skating, so that's what we're going through right now. And yet I do want to ask you if you can squeeze it in between coughs, and go ahead, use the inhaler if you have to. With Kristi skating before you and you knowing what her performance was, how did that gauge what you were going to do on the ice?
Well, I just plan on going out, and no matter what anybody else does, I plan on going out and doing my thing. And I really didn't get to see what she did, but I just went out and did what I had to do.
Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Kristi, you're here, you're going to the Worlds, but the day didn't quite turn out the way you wanted it to. Were you intent upon being happy just going, or was anything less than first a disappointment?
Well, my first goal coming into nationals was just to make the world team again. And, you know, I went out there and performed almost as well as I can, except for that one mistake. So, you know, I'm happy with the performance.
Congratulations. The crowd loved it, too. And, Nancy, you're on your way to the Worlds. Are you ready for it?
Yes, I think so.
Your parents were sitting here aside of you, and a lot of attention on them. Did that make it a little bit more intense this week for you?
I don't know. Maybe a little, but it was nice that my mom could watch on the monitor again. It feels good.
Congratulations to all of you, our World Championship team, Al.
And some outstanding representatives. And welcome back to the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota, as these national championships continue. We'll have the men's final coming up later today. You'll see the competition live. We'll take a look back to last night's ice dancing competition, and one more look a little later in this show at Tanya Harding. Her skated brilliantly Friday night. He's third. Paul Wylie is fourth. Shepard Clark fifth. Michael Chack is sixth. We will see all of those skaters in action, with the top three advancing to the World Championships. Let me bring in Dick Button right now, and let's talk about Christopher Bowman in particular, a man who could be described in many different ways. I suppose one adjective you could use would be enigmatic, and there are several more.
Well, Winston Churchill said, an enigma wrapped in a riddle. I think you could choose any adjective that you wished in the dictionary, and all of them would apply at one time or another during the course of the year to Christopher Bowman. You can certainly say that he's outrageous. He's always energetic. He's a showstopper, but a lot of people think he's a ham. He's undisciplined, he's immensely talented, but he's also glib and frequently superficial. I think you have your choice. One thing is clear, though, he's always entertaining.
Yes, and he occasionally is terrific, as was the case on Friday when he skated his original program. Here it is. We'll look at it in its entirety.
California, representing the Los Angeles Figure Skating Club, Christopher Bowman.
That was the performance by Christopher Bowman Friday night here in Minneapolis. We'll see him live later. But when we come back,
a very interesting routine that Elizabeth Kunselin and Jared Swallow have worked out. However, they are in second place after the original dance. They'll need a good routine to maintain that position and win a trip to the World Championships, Dick.
What this dance is called the race. It's the Indy 500. Two cars on the same team, and they go through 4 periods. First of all, the trial run. Later, we'll see the pits, the downtime, and the final race.
It's almost a variation of Starlight Express on ice.
A little fix 'em up in the pits. You know, this is a very inventive dance. And on top of that, they are really sleek and fast and very crisp ice dancers.
Elizabeth Punselin and Jared Swallow in this ice dancing routine. Their free dance about an automobile race. Apparently, it comes complete with a crash and burn finish.
They represent 2 cars. This is the downtime after the pits. The race yet to come. This is the race. She crashes, and he wins the race. And that's fun. Really fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Well, a very slick dance. Very much in the style of the bolero that Dorval and Dean did at the Olympics that was so successful.
But will they win the race to Munich? Well, the judges will determine that when we come back. There are the marks for technical merit, ranging from 5.6 to 5.8. 6 of the 9 judges scored a 5.7 in that area. And now for composition and style for Punselin and Swallow. And those are quite good. 5.6s, 5.7s, and 5.8s.
The marks here mean nothing. It's simply whether it's 1/10 above or 1/10 below the next guy. That's the placement.
And right now they just hope they can hold on to that second position, because that would be good enough to get them to the World Championships. Okay, let's go to bed.
Elizabeth and Jared, your routine is being described as daring and inventive. What convinced you that you could sell it to the crowd, but most importantly to the judges?
This is a music that we picked out by ourselves, and in that way I think we really are able to feel it a lot better, and that way it carries across to the audience.
The music brought out a lot of crowd participation as well, and choreography was easy to do with this kind of music, and it lent to more expression toward the audience.
Congratulations. Thank you. Back to you, Al.
And that took place last night. We are back live. Not only were those marks good enough to earn them a trip to Munich and move them at that point into second place, those marks were good enough to give them the title as we take a look at the final standings in the ice dancing competition, with Elizabeth Punselin and Jared Swallow winning. April Sargent and Russ Witherby, who had the lead after the original program, dropped to second, but they still go to the World Championships. Jeannie Miley and Michael Verlich just miss out because only the top 2 go on to Munich, and there are positions 4 through 8, and we had hope. Line draw. Bowman goes first, then Eldridge, then Clark, Mitchell, Wylie, and Chack. One big difference, let's point out this year, no more compulsories. The school figures are out. The original program counts 1/3. This program 2/3, and here is Christopher Bowman, the 1989 champion, had to withdraw last year because of a back injury, and no longer skating with his coach of 18 years, Frank Carroll.
What you do see are many taller Cranston signature marks in his choreography. This, the triple Lutz, beauty, a beauty. Hadn't planned a triple axel here. This will be crucial for him. And it was nice. Very clean, conservative, and nice. This is triple flip combination. He fell out of it and did a double toe loop. Double axel. A single one is perfectly acceptable. Both the music and the moves clearly reminiscent of taller Cranston, the great Canadian skater who is now his coach.
You're watching Christopher Bowman, 23, from Los Angeles, now training in Toronto, trying to get back on top after having won the title in '89. Talk about playing to the judges, literally.
I'm not sure that I don't know whether that was all planned choreography or not. Christopher Bowman frequently has a tendency to improvise both choreographically and in the character of the role. that's the final spin for Christopher Bowman. A very nice overall performance. I don't think it reached enormous heights, but there were certainly some nice jumps in there.
Well, we'll be back for his marks and see if he has left the door open when we return to Minneapolis.
And they're quite consistent. Almost every judge gave him a 5.8. In fact, 8 of the 9 did, and the other marked him at 5.7.
But between two marks, there's 0.2 of a point on each of the judges' minimum. Between that score and a perfect 6. So there's plenty of space left open if some of the other skaters give brilliant performances.
Yes. And for composition and style, again, very consistent scoring. 8 of the 9 judges with a 5.8, and one gives him a 5.9. And let's find out what Christopher thinks as we go to Beth Ruyak. Beth?
Christopher, you wanted a performance to respond to your critics. You landed the triple axel. Did this performance do what you wanted it to do?
I think the critics almost like weren't even aware of the triple axel. I think basically that was a personal challenge for myself and as well as my coaching staff. I'm just very thankful that I skated as well as I did. It's been so hard. And win, lose, or draw, I want to thank my parents who stayed by me, my great coaches, Ellen Burke and Tyler Cranston. And I've had a great year, and I've done the right thing, I feel. And I'm ready to go forward from here.
Thank you, Christopher. Back to you, Al.
Okay, Beth, so he's going to be very tough to overcome after those marks. Todd Eldridge is next up. He is the defending national champion. He won last year in Salt Lake City. Again, Bowman had to withdraw because of a bad back, though Eldridge should have nothing taken away from him. He skated brilliantly a year ago. Now he tries to overtake Chris.
And he is the ultimate conservative, straightforward, not an ounce of braggadocio in his skating. Very straightforward. Jump. Complete and full. The landing positions, not brilliant.
Again, Todd Eldridge, the defending champion, in second place after the original program, trailing Christopher Bowman. Top 3 go to the Worlds.
Unfortunately, that was a very steady, very secure performance. It did not sing. Didn't break ground. It was consistent. The jumps were all there, and it was very nice.
Todd Eldridge, the 19-year-old son of a Cape Cod commercial fisherman. Back with his marks in a moment. There are the marks for technical merit. They're excellent. 6.59s and 3.58s. And now for composition and style, mainly 5.8, though there are a couple of 5.7s and 1.59 from judge number 9 for Todd Eldridge. Let's go to Beth Ruyak.
Todd, all week there's been so much hype around Christopher, and then to top it off, you had to skate behind him and deal with all the after the showmanship stuff. What did you tell yourself to come through and go past that?
I just had to concentrate on my work and go out there and just have fun and try not to think about anybody else.
And you did.
Yeah, I did.
Thank you. Back to you, Al.
All right, Beth, and I'll tell you something. I'm stunned, Dick. That has moved him into first place. The judges thought enough of that performance to move him in front of Christopher Bowman.
I think clearly what they were doing was it was a triple jump combination, triple jump competition. That's what it was.
But I'm surprised. Are you?
I don't think either of them was great enough to really to sit down and make a big scene about. Both of them were good. Both of them were excellent.
And the judges feel that Eldridge was good enough so that for the moment he is in first place. Right now we're watching Shepard Clark from Atlanta. After the original program, he was in 5th place, so he'd have almost no chance to fall to the top, though he could conceivably wind up 3rd, and that would earn him a trip to Munich. A problem right there.
And that kind of a fall right there is what Shepard Clark simply cannot afford to stay in the top, contention in this championship. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's a triple jump contest. I also think during Christopher Bowman's performance, he fell out of a number. He didn't complete the number of triples that he had planned. The judges know that and sense that. Todd Eldridge completed more triples.
You're watching Shepard Clark, and still to come, a couple of fellas who could pull it out. Mark Mitchell and Paul Wylie, who were 3rd and 4th after the original program.
Triple axel, but a double 3 on the landing, and that will reduce the impact of that very difficult jump. Choreographically, this program is not very interesting.
Shepard Clark, born and raised in Atlanta, moved to Colorado when he was 13. Still lives there in Colorado Springs, where he trains. Finished 7th in the Nationals last year.
Well, Shepard Clark certainly has the potential to be a fine skater. I think that's in his future.
Back in a moment. You're looking at Mark Mitchell, 22 years old, Hamden, Connecticut, getting a hug from his coach, Ronna Gladstone. And here's a guy with a chance to win it. If he can win the free skating portion of this competition, he would be the champion. And he skated very well Friday night, Dick.
He's very elegant. He's technically consistent. He's musical. His first move, the infamous triple axel. Full revolution complete, a little wild free leg. His triple jump combination. Triple double combination. Very neat, these moves. You know, the program is interesting, has variation, and he certainly is putting energy into it.
Mark Mitchell finished third last year in Salt Lake City, but still did not go to the Worlds in Halifax. Bowman had missed that competition in Salt Lake with an injury, and then they sent Christopher instead. Now Mitchell trying to earn his way to Munich.
Nice position. Again, what we're seeing is wonderfully consistent technical moves. They're absolutely secure, very straightforward.
He seems to come out of all of his jumps so solidly.
They don't have the height that some that Christopher Bowman had, the height. He also has clean lines. tell you, this is one competition I really would not want to judge. Yeah. I thought this was a very neat, very clean, very consistent, very graceful, elegant, musical, and lovely program. I must say, I'm aghast.
In my book, you can throw a blanket over the top three.
I think this was quite wonderful.
For composition and style.
There are the marks for technical merit, and the crowd did not like them, ranging from 5.6 through 5.8, and they don't like the marks for composition and style either. They felt it was a better performance than these would indicate. There is 1 5.6, several 5.7s, and the rest 5.8s, and let's go to Beth.
Mark, Dick Button and Al Michaels have been talking about the fact that this has become a competition of triple jumps, and you certainly had the triple jumps. Why do you think you're receiving the marks that you are?
I'm not really sure. I didn't see the other skiers' marks, but maybe they just want me to wait my turn. I don't know. But I gave it my all, and that's what's important to me. Couldn't have done any better.
Thank you, Mark. Back to you, Al.
Okay, Beth, and as you look at Paul Wylie, Mark Mitchell is now third. So Eldridge is first. Bowman is second. Mitchell is third. Not only is Wylie trying to get into the top three, he's fourth after the original program. If he has the best free skating performance of all, he could win it all, Dick.
Well, Paul Wylie is the finest stylist since John Curry. His problem has been that he has not been able to land all the triple jumps and difficult moves under pressure. Everyone is for him. I hope he can do it today.
It's a very, very close competition. He can finish anywhere from first to fourth. And I don't have to tell you, there's a big difference between third and fourth.
Most importantly, he needs this next move. Nobody questions his style or his artistry, but he needs this triple axel. And he got it. And he got it. Triple Lutz. Is his 10th consecutive year in the Senior National Championships. Going into it. Now, with all the triple moves that he's had so far, the fact that he did a clean double should not detract from it. Look at the position on that back camel.
Paul Wylie, originally from Denver, and has been at Harvard for several years. He's going to graduate this June with a degree in government at the age of 26, trying to get to the World Championships, trying to win the national title, in fact. Again, if he has the best free skating program, he would be the overall champion.
Look at the position in that spread eagle. That says more than a lot of the triple jumps that we've seen blasted at us all during this event. It up into a single. It's this kind of thing that he simply cannot afford. In maturity and artistic interpretation, there is nobody that compares to this young man in this competition. Triple lutz jump. The judges disprove the fact that we've said so many times that it's a triple jump competition. He had enough triple jumps to show anybody what skating is all about, and his style and artistry were wonderful.
Paul Wylie's marks when we come back. The marks for Wylie for technical merit are all over the board, from 5.5 through 5.9.
But there it goes. It does not show any technical merit for superb camels, for wonderful sit spins, for spread eagles that are straight line and gorgeous. You know, again, we go back to the same old marks.
He said these have to be higher. You heard him say they have to be higher for me to make this team, and they are very high. All 5.8s and 5.9s. As the computer tabulates the result, here's Beth.
Paul, fourth coming into today, but I saw you earlier today, and there was something that you knew that somehow today was going to be different.
Well, I just had to get it together today because the world team was running on it, and I just wanted to make Munich, so I guess I had something inside me that made it happen.
I have some news for you. You've just made Munich.
Oh, thank you. Wow. That's great news.
Congratulations, Paul. Back to you, Al.
All right, Beth, that moves him into third place. So Eldridge first, Bowman second. Wylie has moved to third. He goes to the World Championships, and Mark Mitchell doesn't. He drops to fourth. Here's Michael Chack now, the final skater in the competition. Has no chance to win, but could become the first American to ever perform a quadruple Salchow. That would come about early in the program, Dick. He's worked on it, but will he try it here? That's the question.
Versus triple jump combination, triple flip, triple toe loop. Remember, he's 19. He's got energy, and it looks like he's attacking these various difficult jumps. Interestingly enough, he does this move from a 1-foot axle. Let's see if he... Yep, there's the 1-foot axle, and he does a quadruple Salchow, but it didn't work. The crossed feet, not full revolution.
That's where the quadruple would have come had he attempted it.
He did attempt it. He didn't make it.
Right. Chack, 19 years old, from Brick Township, New Jersey. First time he skated in the senior nationals. He was second in the junior nationals last year. up the competition.
And he's doing a lot of, very difficult moves. The old program it's certainly not a developed program. It's his first year in the senior national championship, and he doesn't have the overall presentation or maturity yet that some of the other skaters have. Nice and strong, though.
If nothing else, gaining valuable experience for next year's finals, which will be held in Orlando.
Just a little bit out of control, but he's got a lot of potential.
Michael Chack of New Jersey will return to the target center in Minneapolis in a moment. To Germany, those three. Todd Eldridge has won the national championship again, back-to-back. Christopher Bowman is second. Paul Wylie winds up third. And these others in spots 4 through 8 as Mark Mitchell just misses out. Let's go to Beth.
Thanks, Al. Todd, how much of a difference does this national championship make because you won it with Christopher Bowman in the competition?
Well, it's a great feeling to know that after he skated so well that I could come through and skate just as well and pull through and win it.
Thank you. Good luck at Worlds.
Thanks.
Back to you, Al.
All right, thank you, Beth. A reminder, Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, figure skating coverage continues as the sports